wanted to talk to you about this section of our session because there's a lot of stuff for me to explain. So Tom Dixon is a designer. He works for loads of big homeware companies in London like Heels and Habitat. He also works independently. He's a really well-known name in design. He designs products and furniture, things like lighting, chairs, that kind of thing. And I want to talk to you about a project that he did. Project might be the wrong word. You'll have to decide later on. And he did it with EPS, which is Expanded Polystyrene Company. And so he worked with them to do this polystyrene chair grab in 2006, and it was during the London Design Festival. And so this is a festival that happens in London where loads of design companies open up their doors so you can go and visit. They put on mini exhibitions. There's loads of larger exhibition spaces where people can showcase work that they're doing. And there's like a map that's produced all over London. It's normally in East London. And you can go around and have a look and get involved in these things. Really big deal. And so this happened in 2006 during the London Design Festival. And what he did was he produced hundreds of polystyrene tub chairs. And they were a two-part design. If you have a look on the screen, they had like a bowl shape to sit in and then a triangular leg shape. And so they were made out of expanded polystyrene. They were literally like polystyrene packing. So they were really light, but also because they were solid, they were really robust. And he decided to do an experiment or a project where he put them all in Trafalgar Square in the middle of London. And then he said that at a certain time of the day, they were going to be given away for free to whoever wanted them. And so you had to go down to Trafalgar Square and queue and see if you could get one. And essentially, they opened the barriers that they'd put around it, and everyone was just running to grab them, which was why it was called the chair grab. I was in London, living there at the time, and I went down because I heard it on the news, on the radio, and I went down and was one of the last people to get one. I had one of these chairs at one point. I had it in my flat in London for years, and then I sold it eventually when I moved back down here. And so I wanted to talk to you about this idea that he was giving away an object for free by somebody whose objects normally cost hundreds of pounds for a Tom Dixon item, and he was giving them away for free, but the idea that they were polystyrene, and thinking about the value in that material. And so here's an image of when all the chairs were grabbed and people were just taking them home. You could lift them up. It was big, bulky chair, like an armchair, but it was light, so you could lift it up. And when I was going home on the tube, loads of people had them on the tube and were just kind of sat on them in the tube, taking them home. And eventually mine got really dented because it's strong, you could sit on it, it was strong, but polystyrene easily dents if you puncture it with like a spoon or just with your knees, with your heels, however you're using it, it gets dented naturally. So it's not the longest living object. But I wanted us to have a think about why people wanted one and what the value in them is and why he did this. So there are loads of reasons why he might do it, and there are loads of things on the internet about it, but I wanted to have a chat about why people would go and get a Tom Dixon chair, what value could it have for resale.